and welcome back to the missing live stream. Hope everybody's doing good tonight. We apologize for not being here the other night. We went up to Nashville to get our son, which he was out of food, and his electricity had been in a precarious situation. So we went up to Nashville, drove our 4-wheel drive up there, and we got up there. Snowed. The streets were snowed. He could not drive his car back. We managed to get out to the interstate, and then on the way back to Boaz area where we live, it started snowing. And by the time we got to the state line, about 5 miles from where our RV's parked, it was snowing so bad we couldn't see the road, and I had it in 2-wheel drive then because we had been on just in and out, and I mashed the brakes and the car slid sideways. So I put it in 4-wheel drive, and we would have probably had to drive at about 20 miles an hour all the way home if we could have got home safely. So we decided to stay at the RV, and it was a little bit tough because part of the RV basically was in a sheet of ice, and we couldn't open it up like we normally do with all of our slides out, and it was cold, and it took a long time to heat it up. But we stayed there, but we're lucky, I guess, God knows, because by the time the morning got there, we had 3.5 inches of snow on the ground, and the roads were completely just wiped that night. So the next morning we left and came back after about 11 o'clock when temperatures started getting up, and there was cars in ditch all the way home. It was cars off the road, where they had serious problems getting down the road. So it was a positive thing that what we did. And I would have broadcasted. It was about 8 or 8:30 time we got to the RV, but I would have came on, but our internet was so spotty that we decided not to, couldn't do it. We were going to have on tonight. Thank you, my wife. A lovely wife made me some hot chocolate because it's like freezing out here, and the house is kind of chilly. The house is chilly, put it that way. Okay. Wait a second, I get you on here.
Yeah. Hey, I'm drinking out of your old cup. Okay.
Okay. We were going to have what? Talking. Stop. What?
Maggie.
Okay.
Bothering me. I'm gonna drink out of your.
We were going to have. Oh, that is not my old cup. Mm-hmm. No, I'm not Daffy Duck or whatever that was.
No, it's Grumpy.
No, the Grumpy Duck. Grumpy. No. Hey. But I was going to have Andrea Nable's sister on tonight. We had it all set up, but she called us about an hour ago.
Yeah, 5:36.
And basically said that they had some type of production agreement with somebody that they have signed. So she's going to let us know if she can come on or not, if it's going to violate that production agreement. I don't understand what all that is. So
we just told her, we
just tried to help her get the message out there. We're not making any money off of this. And, if they had something else in mind, then, we don't want to get into that. So if she wants to come on again, I welcome her to come on, but we don't make any money off of her coming on. So we're stuck below 5,000 subs. It's like they put the brakes on us. I don't know why, but we are not getting anywhere near 5,000. I don't know why. What is the dog doing? I hear a barking dog.
Go.
But that's okay. We'll be satisfied with what we have. I'm not going to say anything. So what I did was I went back and I said, okay, well, I'm going to update some cases. We're going to go through a few cases that we want to update, and also we're going to throw out a couple of people that talk about, not throw out, but we're going to talk about some people that are missing now that we feel like really needs to have some light shined on them anyway.
Okay, look.
Maggie, you're over here, and I got wires and lights and everything. I don't know what their problem is. You know how it is. Every time we talk in here, it's like they think we're talking to them. So they want to come over here and have their self involved in everything. Maggie,
under here, go bed.
I
put my bed.
There's a bed up underneath the table. I don't understand why they don't go up under there and lay down. Okay, let's go ahead and get started on this.
Hey, it's all happening.
Hello,
everyone.
Yes, hello, everyone. We are so glad to be back with you. Right here is an Amber Alert. It came out. We had an Amber Alert on her in Alabama and in some other areas, North Carolina.
And in Tennessee, they had it.
Yeah, Davidson County. This a missing 14-year-old hasn't been seen since February the 11th. They believe that she has been groomed by a sexual predator. And this is just one picture of her, 14 years old. So, they've had several of these come out about where, the guys have groomed them as the sexual predators have groomed them. The teacher from Tennessee, I can't remember his name, where they got them way out west or somewhere. And then they had there's been several like that are just for whatever reasons have getting tricked into thinking that they're going to be taken care of by somebody. It says the search still continues. Davidson County teenager, authorities say, could be with a sexual predator. Savannah Grace Childress' father saw her last on 7 a.m. on February the 11th at their home in something Church Road, 8:35 a.m. that day. 14-year-old logged off of her virtual classroom at South Davidson Middle School, Davidson County. Now, Davidson County, when I think of Davidson County, I think of Tennessee, but for whatever reason or not,
because that's in North Carolina.
Tennessee's not in North Carolina. Davidson County's in Nashville.
Okay. Davidson County, North Carolina.
Okay. All right. This afternoon, school officials alerted Savannah's parents that she hadn't shown up to meet younger sibling at the bus stop. Detectives investigating the disappearance later learned Savannah had been speaking online with an unidentified person, and it's going to be a male. The sheriff's office said that the communication was explicit in nature. That, of course, we know that means to be sexual in nature. And the conversation included the detectives considered to be grooming techniques and practices uncommonly utilized by sexual predators. Utilized sexual predators. Savannah is last seen wearing a yellow Mickey Mouse shirt and tennis shoes. Addicts tennis shoes. ASICS tennis shoes. They ask if you've seen her to contact the Davidson County Sheriff's Office, 336-249-0131, or your local law enforcement, or the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. And they have even a cyber tip line. Now, I'm going to tell you, these people that groom these females, they absolutely, the key word, there's no other word that really says what exactly they do, and that is groom them. They make them think that that they are their savior and they love them and only them they understand them. What are you doing?
I'm sorry, she's eating wires.
What wires is she?
Something you dropped you didn't pick up.
Hey, hey,
Your
hey,
fault.
hey,
Sorry,
hey,
y'all.
Maggie, listen, Maggie, back up.
Get back in the living room and watch TV. Go watch TV.
Go tell them it's a dog back there.
Is there a dog outside? You see that dog? Go check that dog out. Go check the dog. Watch him. Don't let that dog get us. Okay, she's gone.
She's gone now. Today I was out with her and I was getting firewood in the house.
Where's the dog? There's not a dog on the ceiling.
And
go get the dog.
Dina says to me, she says, she's looking up the ceiling for some reason. She says, Maggie wants to bring some wood in. So I turned around, Maggie's standing right there beside me. So I give her a piece of wood and Michael, and the dog grabs a piece of wood and goes around to the other door, which it was locked. And I said, no, this door comes all the way around to this door and comes in the back door. She really likes bringing in the firewood. Oh, one other thing, I don't know if you remember it or not. This was back about a month ago, and someone was telling me about that saw in California, Southern California, where they had a bunch of sex trafficking children's trafficking. Well, apparently I wasn't listening, but what I could be, because this kind of shocked me. 33 missing children were found in the anti-human trafficking operation. The one that I was looking at was a human trafficking, was where they busted sex workers, but 33 missing children. So it'd be nice to know who were the missing children. 2 of the children were rescued multiple times during the Los Angeles operation. 2 of the children were rescued multiple times during Los Angeles operation, FBI Los Angeles stated in the news. Now, how can that be? How can they be rescued multiple times during this operation? Why would they let out on the street again to be, how come they were not put in a safe home or something? I don't understand that.
Say underneath it, it says the children were apparently on the track.
Yeah, it said here, following multi-day operation, surge and 24 partners rescued 33 whom have been trafficked on streets. I don't know what they're talking about on track. Well, where did you read on track?
It was on that.
See here, children are apparently on the track. And I, for whatever reason, it didn't copy the rest of that thing. I'll have to try to find it. But this is the National Slavery Human Trafficking Prevention Month. This was last month.
That's over 150 kids that have been found, because they're in Ohio and Michigan and Florida.
Yeah, and you know what's a weird thing is, we were reading, when I was reading this, they were talking about one of the cases we were talking about. They said, in Las Vegas, a case that we're going to discuss, there's 200 people go missing every month in Las Vegas alone.
Yes.
200. Average between 5 to 7 a day.
5 to 7 a day. Y'all,
200 people a day. We might go to Las Vegas, but we'll go together. That's crazy.
What if they kidnap you? I wouldn't know where to look.
They would not kidnap me. They'd bring me back because I
like that gray hair.
Yeah. And I will.
Dr. Debo Cherry.
I'll say this here too. This is Andrea Nabel. She's the one that is missing from Louisville, and hopefully we'll have her sister online and talk about her again. I know we discussed a little bit the other day, but apparently she's depressed. This girl, when she went missing, she was depressed. She was under had lost her home to live in. She got evicted from there. She didn't have anywhere to live. She had gone and tried to go in with her sister. Her sister said, "Why don't you go live with our mother?" And when she went down there, they wouldn't let her in the house. So apparently, there's some issues with that family with Andrea. And
I don't think wait. I think you misunderstood her. I was talking to her sister
okay,
and
well,
had
go
her on
ahead.
speaker. She had a argument with her mother and her sister and walked to her other sister's house, and they talked a while and talked through it and stuff. She wasn't ready to go, but her sister she had gone to walk to see had to go to work the next day, so she told her she needed to go home. She walked back home and the doors were locked. She called her sister and told them to call her parents and get her little sister or other sister to open the door. And from there, we don't know.
No, but she is missing, completely missing, though. Also, a sad note, and I put it on our community page. Erica Lloyd, her remains were found in the high desert, approximately 9 miles from where her car was located. And she has been gone like 8 months ago. All they found were her remains. You can imagine, there's probably not much remains other than probably skeletal remains. She had went to the desert around the national park out there around 29 Palms and the National Joshua Tree National Park as an escape, because she was upset over COVID, losing her job. She was a hairdresser, but she had a child at home, at least one child, I remember. So they're not sure. They found her car had been vandalized and looked like she might have been involved in a wreck. So she possibly could have had a head injury, wandered off, and hypothermia might have set in. So we're not sure what happened yet, and that it will take a while because of being the death and the remains being found probably in the condition it was. They may never find out what exactly happened to her. If they recover the bones and they discover she's got some neck bones injured or other trauma to her body or skeletal remains, then sure, they might say that possibly it was a homicide, but it's going to be difficult. It's going to be very difficult. But we do want to pray for the family, for peace in the family, and that they find out. This girl was just, it was one of those things, that she was upset about COVID and wanted to get out, and so she left, and it led to her demise. Another thing we want to cover is this gentleman here. I don't know if you can see him very good. He went on a hike. Josh Hall went on a hike with his dog in the Hessel Trailhead. I can't read that. Dana, can you read that? You got a bigger screen than me.
Hesse Trailhead on Wednesday. Search and rescue crews have been looking for him in heavy winter conditions for the last 3 days. Aerial searches have been grounded. This was on February 5th. His dog was located. Remember, this is the one that his dog came back, but they have not found him.
Devil's Thumb Trailhead.
Yeah. He came from near there.
A Devil's Thumb Trail Diamond Lake cutoff. I guess that is an area where he has phone last pinged from. Unfortunately, the weather has been so bad that unless he is a survivalist and went up there and dug a snow cave, and I don't know if he is going to be found alive. However, with his dog, his dog probably would have stayed with him as long as he was able to, unless maybe he sent the dog out, to go find help or whatever, But either way, it's not not positive what happened.
Yes,
it is.
Boulder, Colorado.
It is near Boulder, Colorado. So, that's the one thing, everything we hope and pray everything works out for him. The California toddlers in Cal City. This is the poster, the billboards they have put up. They put several billboards up. They've offered $122,000 reward. Where are the boys? And so I understand they are getting a lot of tips with these billboards. I don't think any of the tips, have led them to anything substantial, but they are getting tips from the billboards. Let's see what else. Okay, this is the one here. Oh, wait a minute. That's not what I wanted to do. What did I do here? This is what here is the girl is desperate. The family is desperate for answers and disappears and search continues. Now, there was one YouTuber that did a thing on this girl, and I'm not going to criticize her, the YouTuber, but I don't agree with her. She said that there has not been any media attention, and she blamed the fact that this girl was a Muslim or for the Muslim religion, which I don't think, if nothing else, in today's society, in my opinion, they probably would have given her more coverage than less coverage.
Well,
but I just don't. I think doing that muddies the water by saying all that kind of stuff, personally.
Okay, but this was in Las Vegas.
Yeah, right? But it does not matter.
No. What I'm saying is, you got 200 people a month coming up missing.
Yeah, right. I just don't think. Is it
going to be an all-day, 24-hour news thing?
Yeah, no, but I think it was. I disagree with the YouTuber saying that the reason why she's not being covered is because she's Muslim. I don't think that's it. If 200 people a day come missing, that maybe it wouldn't have been covered all the time.
Okay, y'all, I'm reading the comments. One of y'all sent us an email. Gave us your email address to email you. It's best if you email us because we get a lot of crazy emails that we would not want you to be getting. And you never know. We could have a troll pop in here and not say anything and get your email. And so it's best if you email us and then we'll email you back.
Las Vegas family is desperate for answers. Police continue to search for 26-year-old. And how do you pronounce her name, Dina? Jahawa?
No, they call her Jewel.
Jewel, but her name is that Jawaher Haji. Hejji. She was Jewel. She was like a second mother to all the siblings. Her mother said really hard because she had just disappeared. One of her, I guess, siblings said is still trying to wrap their head around their mind around her sister. I guess her sister could be gone without a trace. Police have she was last seen on December the 22nd in South Las Vegas Boulevard near Pebble Road. However, her vehicle was found near a construction site along Shaded Canyon Drive. They said the location in Henderson is a trailhead for the Margosa Trail, and her family has done countless searches in the area to try to find her. 13 Action News had learned that the Red Rock Search and Rescue also helped with the search under the direction of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. Police said the investigation is still open. Investigators believe that she may have been in some type of severe emotional distress. It's also been 2 weeks now and she is gone and no sign of her. Last seen wearing a pink hoodie, black sweatpants, and she's 5'8" inches tall and 190 pounds. Now, first thing I thought of when I heard her vehicle was seen at this construction site is I thought, oh, well, something happened to her in Las Vegas and somebody stole her car, drove it up there and abandoned it. But they had video cameras at the construction site and they saw her get out of her car and walk towards the trailhead. So that is a big, big clue. So that I know that rescuers are, and these rescue places are going up towards that trailhead and try to find her. But she's been missing now for 2 to 3 weeks. So it's not going to be promising at the very best. It's hard to believe, though, somebody could just disappear without a trace, you know? You go up towards somewhere and disappear. But getting back, I don't believe that the news has not, I mean, where I found it was on the news. So obviously the news is covering this. And I just don't think you should muddy the water with accusations that she's not being covered because she's Muslim. My opinion. One thing is, and I know up in that area, of course, I don't know what's the weather now in Vegas right now.
It's in the desert, but that doesn't mean anything.
No, desert's just cold in the wintertime.
Hold on, I'll ask Siri.
Ask Siri what the weather is in Las Vegas.
What's the weather for the next 10 days in Las Vegas?
Here's the forecast for Las Vegas, Nevada between today and March 1st, 2020.
It is 60s and 70s and 40s at night.
Well, up there too, it was probably in the 30s up if it's high, up high. But yeah, I agree. People just don't disappear without a trace. And I think that there's a few things that could have happened. Of course, if she was in severe emotional distress, then she could have wandered off the trail and got lost, and something bad happened to her. She could have went to a location and jumped off of something, or she could have got like hypothermia, like we were talking about. It doesn't take freezing weather to get hypothermia. The body core temperature just has to fall down to just a few degrees, and you can get hypothermia. Yeah. Ask Siri. You can ask Siri just about anything. It's amazing some of the things I've had Siri tell me. But there's a lot of different things that could happen. But the first thing I thought of right away from my law enforcement experience was, well, her car was stolen. It was driven up there by a worker, and they could have possibly done something. But then I read or heard from the news, actually listened to the news, and it said that they had cameras and saw her walking up towards the trailhead. So that's pretty good evidence right there. And she was alone. So
you actually listened to the news? That sounds kind of funny.
I listened to the news.
But you said I actually listened to the news. So when you've got the news on, you're just watching it?
I might have just been watching it at one time or another.
We ain't watching the news no more.
But could not keep her because she was incarnated dead.
Okay, we're talking about the little girl, but what I'm wondering is, Just May said that they took her away from her grandmother and put her in foster care in home.
Which one?
The little 9-year-old I told you about earlier.
Yeah.
Ran away. And that they took her away from her grandmother and put her in those homes and destroyed this child. Well, I don't understand why they would take her away from her grandmother unless the grandmother's home was worse.
But it's just like that girl that down in Mobile that I can't think of her name now. The
She
one
was in
that
15 different foster homes by the age of 9.
Good Lord.
We need to be foster parents, Tommy.
We're too old to be foster
We're
parents.
not too old.
We're too old to be
we're not.
foster parents.
But I don't know how we would do it.
You
in
can't
an
do
RV.
it in an RV. You got to have all
That's
kinds
sad.
of stuff.
We could be good foster parents.
Too
I don't
old.
want to adopt them all, but we could do that.
Yeah. It's just amazing, though, how anybody can do that for that long. Be in the system that long. 15 different homes. I also went back and tried to locate anything on Leah Cavett. The last was the FBI searched the landfill in Miami, and they for over a month, and they never did find anything, nothing. Also, I did double check on the Suzanne Morphew case again, and of course, we always want to bring her up. It's been 9 months now on February the 10th, and nothing as of yet. And I'm kind of growing very disappointed in the new district attorney in that area that nothing has come from that investigation down there. It just kind of makes you wonder what the heck is going on. See, who is this? Oh, we talked about her. I'm just wondering, we talked about her, the one that the girl said she was Muslim, and that's why. But I was wondering too but all the indications by what I've read is, I was wondering maybe the family was pressuring her because maybe she was trying to go more into the secular lifestyle of being an American, and a lot of that family.
I'm going to disappear just a minute because I asked Gracie did she need to go potty, and she did the head shake.
All right. But
go potty. Come on.
A lot of times if the family is, the kids get Americanized, then a lot of times the family will take real offense at that, especially from a culture, a Middle Eastern culture. And that's why a lot of times you even have honor killings. There's been honor killings, but I didn't see that in this case. The family was out there. It didn't say much about the father, I don't think. Let me go back to that first page here. See. Doesn't really say anything about the father. She's 26 years old too. They've done countless searches, yet no sighting of her. She's 5'8", 190 pounds. So, we just hope that she is somewhere safe. I doubt if she's going up that trailhead that she is somewhere safe. Also, I wanted to touch. Okay, let me get you back in the picture here. Also, wanted to touch on Echo Lloyd. No further information as far as no pertinent information about where she's at or if any harm has come to her. I think that maybe some information coming with this as time goes along, but unfortunately in some investigations where there's not an immediate person found or remains found, it can drag on for a while. I feel like, though, something may be coming out of this in the next couple of months. Also, I want to touch on Michael Chambers. He is still classified.
How can he be classified missing?
As a missing person.
When
She declared him, the wife declared him dead, so she could sell off all of his stuff. And
This case haunts me.
yeah, I mean, we've talked about Michael before and several times, and the one thing, and I don't have the picture right currently, but the police said that he rode a bike injured for 20 miles, a bicycle, and then took the bicycle and him and jumped off the bridge and killed himself. But the water was like 10 feet from the bottom. I mean, it was like 8 to 10 feet from the top of the bridge. So it's almost, it's ludicrous to me to think that, one, if I was going to kill myself, I would jump off the bridge with a bicycle in my hand, and the bridge is like 8 feet from the water. I mean, you cannot kill yourself by jumping off a bridge 8 feet from the water, not unless the water's 2 feet deep or 4 feet deep and you hit your head and break your neck. But there's not. I think they said the water was maybe 10 to 15 feet deep there. So you cannot do that. It's not possible to jump off the bridge and kill yourself. Not in my opinion. And I don't think by holding a bicycle, I mean, what's the deal with that?
Well,
So,
the bridge was being worked on that day and no one saw it.
Yeah, just a lot of different stuff of why
And
that I don't feel like
the
it
main
is.
thing, all you ladies on here, would you ever send the male in your life to go get you mascara at Walmart? No.
I just don't see him. I don't see him killing himself by knocking himself in the head, driving a bicycle, which they said he had leg and back injuries and everything like that. So it's not easy to drive a bicycle, but ride a bicycle 20 miles and then take the bicycle and jump off the bridge with it and not be seen by the workers that are working on the bicycle.
I'm at the bridge.
I mean, working on the bridge. I don't
What
see
I
it.
put in your hot chocolate?
What did you put in my hot chocolate?
Yes, and it's all happening. He had horrible knees too. No, something's wrong with that. I would never send my husband to Walmart to get me mascara. He'd come back with the waterproof kind, probably.
Yeah.
I can't wear that waterproof stuff. Can't get it off.
And the fact is that, well, so many things around that case too. The wife goes and sells all of his hot rods and his cars. Some of the stuff that he really enjoyed doing is fixing up these cars and stuff. And she disconnects his cell phone. That's another thing. Disconnects his cell phone within a month of him disappearing. I just, that's so much stuff about that case. That case and the case with the girl from Arkansas, the preacher's wife that backed her car into that shipping container in West Memphis and shuts the door without, and kills herself. That case right there, I don't care. You'll never convince me that that's a suicide. That just never. I wanted to talk to the guys that actually investigated that, because how can that happen? How can you shut the doors to the ship container and you can't get out of the car? You have to crawl over the top of the car.
Thanks.
No,
I'm still drinking hot chocolate, but I appreciate it.
So that one's always been a case that I didn't see how it actually happened. I really didn't. Other than that, I don't have anything else to talk about.
Well, sorry, we're not through. So,
I do have one thing to talk about. To ask y'all to prayer for my wife. She's having a a little test done, and we think it's going to be
Put our
fine.
business out there.
No, we're just putting our prayer requests out there. You would do it for me to just have a little prayer for my wife, a little test she's having done. We're not worried about it, but just
It's nothing major. I just have swooshing in my neck, in my ears, I mean. And so I'm going to go have it checked because I'm not ready to.
not ready to croak.
Yeah, I still got a few more April Fool's jokes to play.
Yeah, but I, of course, I'm the one that usually worries about stuff all the time, little stuff. So it just concerns me a little bit. So we want to ask that you keep her in your prayers.
When he says a little bit, oh my gosh, this is no lie. When Dakota was 9 months old, no, 18 months old, sorry. When Dakota was 18 months old, we had just been in Gulf Shores for a couple of months. And while we were there, he elbowed me as hard as he could in my breast, okay? That side. And I instantly got a bruise and a knot. And later I went to the doctor and they were concerned about it and wanted to do all kinds of tests. And so I let them do it, but I kept telling them it's scar tissue. It's from where my son hit me. He didn't, with his little elbow. So anyway, I go to this doctor and he comes in and he says, we're going to do a needle biopsy on it because they couldn't figure out anything on the ultrasound and all that mess. And so he comes at me with this needle. Honestly, it looked like it was that long and at least that big around on the end. I know it wasn't quite that big, girls, but it was. So I said, whoa, are you not going to give me a shot to numb it or something? And he said, what, you want 2 shots there? And I was like, he said, it's not going to hurt. Well, I'm going to tell you, if a man tells you it's not going to hurt to get a needle stuck there, then you ask him, would he like a needle stuck somewhere he doesn't think it would hurt? I came off the table. I was so upset. So anyway, it was that he came out and he said there's a 5% chance it's cancer. And Tommy asked him, he said, if it was your wife, what would you do? He said, I'd have it removed. Tommy would come in at night, put his arms around me, lay down, and he even cried and said, I don't know how I'll raise these children without you. Because Dakota was 18 months old. Mindy was 8 years old, 9 years old, and his dad was the same way. Oh,
I don't remember all that.
Yes, you did. You cried at me.
I don't remember that.
Well, you may not, but that's because you worry too much.
But this,
Wait,
let me just say this.
I
Wait.
gotta tell the very end of the story. So,
okay.
The very end of the story. So, Tommy convinces me to go and have the thing removed, whatever it is. So I have it removed, and the doctor comes in there, and he says, it was just scar tissue. Not sure where it came from, but it was just scar tissue. And so me, trying to lighten the day, asked the doctor if he had 2 rubber gloves I could have. And he said, what do you need them for? And I said, you'll see. And so I blew them up really big and stuck them underneath my oversized shirt they made me wear and had them wheel me out to Tommy and my mother. And they were sitting with their backs to me. And when they wheeled me out, they said, Thomas Green. And he turned around with my mother, and they both about had a heart attack. It was hilarious. I said, I had them put a little bit in since they were taking something out. But it was nothing. So I'm healthy. I don't believe this is anything. And so.
But
anyway,
a little prayer doesn't hurt.
No, prayer doesn't hurt.
Prayer doesn't hurt.
No.
And if, just want to make sure that you're not.
I'm
not having issues that will cause you to have a stroke or worse,
You just don't want to wait on me, Henry. I'm kidding. I know you.
But several years ago, it's been probably 15 years ago, I had a thing occur in my eye. One of my eyes had something weird. And I went to our doctor, and she said, well, that's cholesterol in your eyes. You need to have your arteries checked here. So freaked me out. Of course, it scared me to death.
Yes.
And I went and had my arteries checked, and my doctor was in there. She said, "Come here, sit right beside me." She said, "You have 0 plaque in your arteries,
Okay, can
in
I
your
tell
neck."
them we're not two old people that sit around and talk about our health,
No, I know,
issues. So let's
but
not
that's
talk
what the
about
type of stuff
hemorrhoids or
that
anything.
that's the type of stuff that she's gonna have. She's
Yeah.
gonna have these checked, carotid arteries checked.
Let's tell them about. We were listening to the radios in our area. There's a swap shop, or one of the shows, and this guy calls in one morning, and we had only been listening for a few mornings. This guy calls in one morning, and the guy says, "Oh, how are you today?" And he obviously
That
calls
was
in
the
every
wrong
day.
thing to say.
He obviously calls in every day. So the guy called him by his name and said, "Hey, how are you this morning?" Y'all, honestly, this guy said, "Well, I'd be okay, but this hemorrhoid's giving me heck. I don't know what I'm going to do about it. Guess I'm going to the doctor over this hemorrhoid." And y'all, we lost it.
Megs.
We lost it. Okay, Beach Bum, Ralph is coming home next Thursday. He is coming home in a wheelchair because his legs, he's got to get them muscled up and stuff, but he is coming home. Thank y'all for your prayers. That's almost a week from now. They've had to build a ramp and stuff like that, but we believe that he is going to be up and walking and driving again really soon.
Okay, Max. Can I talk?
Thank you.
Can I talk, Maggie? Don't listen. Don't lick me. Don't lick me. Okay. Get out.
Oh,
Damn, baby.
our Walker had the same thing happen. Yeah, I told my doctor. That doctor, I told him he didn't want. I can't say it on air. I didn't cuss or anything. Don't get me wrong. I just told him that needle would hurt him if it was shoved somewhere. And I don't know. I don't know about you girls, but I believe that if a man had to have a test done like we have to have when they do the what is it called?
Mammogram.
Mammogram. I believe a man, if he had to do a mammogram as a test on something, I think they'd come up with a better way of doing it.
Well, there's a lot of tests that men can have, though, that are a lot. There's a lot, believe me.
Okay. Well, we won't go there.
We'll go there.
Okay. Like Barry's selling the house and wanting Suzanne's dad to sign the papers. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what the weird thing about that is, though? He got around that somehow or another because he had his oldest daughter sign for it. And so that's a weird situation on that end of it. But what basically they did was they created a conservatory agreement, which says basically that my wife is incapacitated or no longer here, and I need to make some decisions about property and money to keep our family going, basically. So I need to go ahead and do this.
Joyce, I think they decided that she could have gone out the back of the car and closed the door on that container. I think that's how they figured.
I don't think it's possible because that container, we showed pictures of the tire tracks going in the container, and the police said in their report that she couldn't open the doors because there wasn't enough room. So the only way was to open the back door, crawl over the car, shut the doors, and crawl back into the car. I don't know. I don't see it unless that was the big key for me is how do the doors get shut? Yeah, that's what I say.
Yeah, Ralph is in good spirits now. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that the nurses allowed his wife to go while he was in ICU and stay every day, all day with him. That helped him. And then when he moved to a different floor, they said no, his wife couldn't come. But remember, we came and asked y'all to pray. Well, the next day, the nurse said, okay, she can come. So they have not let her go into rehab with him. She got to see him through a window one time. And she will probably go this weekend and see him through a window again. But she said they have to keep their mask on so they can't hear they can't even talk to each other. Really, she said, we just kind of sit there and look at each other.
But I don't know. I don't know that I'd want to go in there.
Well, you might have to go there or a nursing home. if you got to learn how to walk again, I can't teach you. I can't teach you nothing. You don't even pick up your clothes.
That is not nice.
Is it true?
You gonna put me in no nursing home. I'll tell you
Is
that
it
right
true?
now. I pick up my clothes.
Ooh.
I do.
Oh, wait. I see a horn growing.
Nose growing.
You're a mess. Anyway, hey, y'all, let's go back to Papa just a minute. Michael Chambers.
Yeah.
He was somebody's Papa.
They called him Papa.
I know, and that, I can't imagine not knowing what happened to my Papa. And then, as I got older,
And we begged for the wife to come on. Basically, gave her all kinds of stuff, reasons to come on and talk to us. Never did.
Well, I wouldn't. If I thought you might think I was guilty.
I wouldn't even accuse her of being guilty. I'd just come and let her tell her side, But I mean, right now, I guess nobody's questioning it. So, lawman says, the sheriff says, "Oh, it's suicide." I don't know if what the call. If there's I don't think there's a death certificate yet.
Anna says, my dad is colorblind and my mom has picked his clothes every day for 65 years.
Wow.
Okay, April Fool's Day, I'd have a blast with that. I'm just saying.
But now colorblind only, I thought colorblindness doesn't protect reds, greens, or black or something like that. It's something to do with that. Yeah, Lance is colorblind.
Really? I didn't know that.
That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true or not. I'll ask him.
Lynn says, I finally saw the Michael Chambers case. So now I know what y'all are talking about. I don't think it was suicidal. Yeah, we don't either.
Right. I don't. And go over to Joyce. Go over if you want to watch that one on the Marilyn Carter's case. I said from the get-go, I don't know, unless there's something I'm not seeing. I would love to talk to that homicide investigator that worked that case. I know that probably impossible to do that because they're so busy down in Memphis. But and you know what? You couldn't. There's cases in Chicago that I really like to ask somebody about, but you couldn't possibly call Chicago and ask about a homicide when they'll have like 20 or 30 a weekend up there. It's just almost like war zone.
I was just thinking, how can that many people come up missing in Las Vegas? It's covered up with cameras.
Well, I mean,
200 people a month come up missing.
Well, but here's what you got to realize: the Strip is where all the tourists goes. There's 2 million people outside the Strip live in Las Vegas. I heard that. I was watching a show about Las Vegas, and they were saying off the Strip, there's 2 million people. So in the metro area. So, I mean, there's a lot of places too that you don't,
Well, if you take 200 people a month out of 2 million, that's still a lot.
Sure. But, a lot of just like, it's just like, if you go and you join NamUs, and I've told y'all are welcome to join NamUs. Civilians are allowed to get into certain areas of NamUs. And you put in there to the side, you can put the dates like all people missing from the first of the month last year to the halfway, June the 1st, and it'll tell you everybody missing. There's a lot of people that are missing that come back, runaways and stuff that come back. It's like 90, I think I read where it's 85, 90% of all runaways return home.
I don't think that 90% of the 800,000 that come up missing every year come home. No.
Well, it's not 90%, but it is like statistically. No, statistically speaking, it is like 85, at least 85%. Where's your ball? Where'd your ball go? Get your ball. Maggie, get your ball.
Beach Bum said Marilyn didn't back the car in the container and shut the container door. In my opinion, didn't her uncle die shortly after she was found? Yes, I do remember that.
The uncle died shortly after.
Shortly after that, yeah.
How did he die?
I can't remember these cases. There's so many.
Okay, well,
what about the sea bug?
I saw where Draper Brothers changed their channel name to Tiger Crime Talk or something like that, or Tiger. And also, I think Dusty's got his own program now, the 123 report, or 4231 report, or something like that. Did y'all hear that? That's my dog laying down. Or no, let me rephrase that. That's Medina's dog laying down. He's supposed to be my dog, but
y'all, I'm wanting turnip green soup, and Tommy doesn't want it.
No, not doing turnip. I'm not gonna.
You're gonna have to have eggs.
Not gonna.
Lisa said her pizza was delicious. She'll mail me some. The 321 report.
Yeah. 321 report, which I think, he does a good job on that. Does a good job. And I don't know if Tyson and them just changed that. Okay.
You're grumpy?
Yeah.
Because you're grumpy.
And I think Tyson, they probably just, I don't know why they changed the name, but it may have been something business related. They spell it Tiger is Ty.
He said, thanks for the shout out. Dusty's in the house.
Good, Dusty. I liked your report. I enjoy listening to you. I think you got a great program, and I'm glad to see that you're doing a good job at it.
Joyce doesn't buy that she went out the back. That's a strange case too.
That is a very strange case. I wish that, but once they've ruled it's a suicide, it's almost impossible to rule it anything else. It just is,
You would have to find some serious evidence to have.
Yeah, and somebody in authority would have to believe you. Yeah, Dusty, we're glad you're here, buddy, and I do watch your program. I am a fan. I definitely am a fan. And I think maybe you can tell us if I was just commenting how Tyson had changed the name of his program to what is it, Tiger Crime Talk or something. I'll be honest with you, I was in a hurry when I looked at it.
Thank you.
But yes, thank you very much, Dusty. I really appreciate it. But I am definitely a fan. I really appreciate it. I encourage, if y'all haven't seen his program, to go over and watch it. It's very good, very, very informative. Yeah, Tiger True Crime. Great.
Tiger True Crime?
Yeah, Tiger True. It used to be the Draper Brothers, but I think because Dusty has his program, and I guess Tyson does his program there, even though they're still. And I'm gonna tell you, I never had a brother, and I'm very envious of people that have brothers and sisters. I was an only child.
I got 6 brothers.
And
are you envious of me?
Not your brothers. But because you can share with a phone call a lot about things, you can talk with your brothers and everything. I mean, your brothers are like my brothers in a lot of ways, but they're still not like blood brothers.
Skitty, I think it was a bloody stick, wasn't it? That was
with
Michael Chambers.
Yes,
yeah,
it was a bloody dowel. I think that's what it was.
You asked about a pipe, but I think if you're talking about that, it was a dowel.
Yeah, and listen, go over. We're going to end this because Tiger, Dusty's brother Tyson, is just going live.
Are you going to go study about tigers?
And no, he's Crime Talk. But we're going to go over and suggest everybody go over and watch his live stream. He's always good, and that we try to stay off of each other, and that's why we try to schedule it at a different time. But we appreciate you being here, everybody, tonight, and go over and watch Tyson and his live stream right now, and be sure to tune in when Dusty's 321 reports on also. So I'm going to close out now, and God bless all of y'all, and we'll be praying for y'all. This is I'm doing this is a little communication agreement between my dog and my cat.
Okay.
May I have this dance?
You most certainly may.
Was it everything you hoped it would be?
Even better. Thank you.
What happened? What? She was in your bed and you decided you wanted her up. Huh? What did you do with the kitty cat? Where'd she go? Where did he go, I mean? What happened, Moses? That was so funny.